Well, hello YouTube. I know it's been a while since y'all seen me on here, and I have been getting a lot of stuff done. Hadn't done anything to the radio yet. I guess I just have to be in the mood to work on those things, and I just hadn't wanted to mess with it lately. I will try to get to it before too long, just because I really need to. I don't know what. Something flashing on the screen, but it's okay now, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. A little bit of a rant. Our phone company is Frontier, and ever since we've lived here for the last 7 years, every single time it rains, I have to go out to the phone box connected to the side of the house and dry that thing out to have telephone and internet. And here lately it's just gotten worse and worse. We can have a brief little shower and I'll have to go out and do that. The place where the jack plugs into the box out there, the jack has fallen off of the box that it was attached to, and the rubber has fallen away from that. And I finally wrote down, we called up the phone company Friday and said, look, get somebody out here and put us a new box on there, or we'll just get rid of the damn phone. Sick and tired of it. We've had nothing but trouble out of it ever since we've lived here, and it's time for it to stop. I just can't handle that anymore. It's just driving me crazy. Here, earlier this week, like I said, we'd had it rain for a day or so. Well, I went out there and I got tar necks, and I soaked everything in that tar necks real good and scrubbed it down with scrub brushes and wire brushes and everything else, and cleaned up everything on them old wires, and got the phone plugged back in, went into the house and picked up the phone, turned it on, and didn't even get a damn dial tone. Went out there and unplugged the jack out of unplugged the wire out of the jack and plugged it back in, come back in and had a dial tone, but it was crackling and carrying on and whatnot. I went out there and sprayed some WD-40 in there to get any water out of it, and put it back together and come inside, and it sounded a little bit better and still crackling and stuff. But we were getting phone calls, but the phone would only ring once, maybe half a ring, and then nothing. Now I could go what should have been another 2 rings and pick up the phone, and whoever was calling would still be on the line, but it'd be hard to hear them and stuff, and all the crackling and sputtering and stuff on the line. It sounded like a radio with silver mica disease. That's what the phone sounded like to your ear. And I thought, well, maybe it's the phones. So I went on Amazon and ordered a new set of AT&T phones there, cordless phones, and got them in the house, got them all charged up and everything. Because before that, I went and unplugged the old cordless phones and took an old corded phone and hooked it up and had somebody call me, and the phone rang. I was like, well, okay, maybe it's just these old cordless phones are just something's messed up in them. And that's why I bought new cordless phones, but it's doing the same thing. Like I say, I mean, I'm tired of nonsense with the phone company and whatnot, and the internet, when it rains, will go in and out and in and out, and I'm just tired of it. So they said they'd have somebody out here Tuesday between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. so I'll have to sit here all day Tuesday waiting on them. And when they come out, they better not, I'm going to go out and watch them and make sure they put up a new box and don't just jiggle a couple of wires. Like I say, that box is falling apart. It obviously can't keep the moisture out. And like I say, the receptacle on the inside of the box where the jack plugs into, like I say, it's falling off. The rubber around it is falling off. The rubber that was behind it that's supposed to hold out moisture, it's falling off. And I say, it's just, they're going to have to replace it. And I'm going to watch them to make sure they do. And if they don't, I'm going to tell them, turn off the phones, we don't want them anymore. I'll go and get a damn cell phone or something. Bad as I hate cell phones, I'll get a cell phone. Had a nice visit with my relatives from Tennessee that come up. We went out to French Lick. I was going to show them inside that West Baden hotel. And got up there and the hotel was rented out for the weekend. Some hospital up in Indianapolis had rented the entire hotel for $1 million for the weekend for their employees. Oh, that must be nice. But so none of the general public was allowed in there. Well, of course. The one time I've been trying to get my aunt and uncle over there for years and years to see the place, and the one time we get there and it's flipping closed. So we went over to the French Lick Hotel and looked around it, and it's nice inside, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a beautiful place, but it don't come up near to the West Baden Hotel. Not in my eyes, it doesn't. I mean, as far as beauty. I mean, that West Baden Hotel is really something to see. But, well, what can you do? We ate supper there in French Lick and looked around a couple of whatnot stores. I guess you'd call them art stores or something, homemade art and stuff like that. And come on back. And, like I say, had a good rest of the weekend with them, and they left out Sunday morning and went back to Tennessee. I got the brush pile back there burned down, and here we've been paying $400 a month on the house payment. And when we first got the loan, they said, well, the payment should drop down after about a year, or after a few months is what they said. But it hadn't. It's been $400 a month for the last couple of years. Well, we got a letter from the mortgage company that bought the mortgage from the bank, and they had been taking the extra bit and putting it in escrow for taxes and stuff, and they said that they'd gotten way more than what they needed for the taxes for the place. So they dropped our payments down to $338 a month and sent us a refund check from the extra stuff, the extra money that was in escrow for like $815. So that's going to go along with the money that I've been saving back, and we're going to get hardwood laminate flooring and put in the living room and in Mama's bedroom. I want to try to install it myself. I've watched several videos on YouTube about it. It doesn't appear to be all that difficult. I say I put down vinyl flooring and stuff before, and it's supposed to look like plank flooring, but I want to put down one of them floating laminate floors. And I say I've got the chop saw over here and stuff for cutting angles, and jigsaw and stuff like that for whatever I need. So there's really not much in the floor there. I'll take the baseboards out. And what I would like to do, instead of putting laminate flooring down, and I don't know how much it would cost to do it, is pull that old nasty carpet up in the house there, and underneath of it is a hardwood floor. But I pulled up a corner of that carpet, and whoever had the hardwood floor years and years ago painted it white. Why on earth anybody would paint a floor instead of keeping the natural finish? It just, beyond me. It's like that Hoosier cabinet. It's like, why in the world would somebody paint one of them things? And, oh, hey, Larry, over at Back to the Future Radios, guess what I saw on Facebook Marketplace today in Louisville, Kentucky for $85. A 1936 General Electric Colorama. And you know how I've been talking about stuff being painted? Someone painted it bright red. I've been debating whether or not to go down there and buy the thing and strip it down. And Lord knows I've been looking for one of them things for years. But I've got so many radios here already that I have never touched that I've been wanting to fix up. And like I say, oftentimes I have to be in the mood to do it before I can urge myself to do it. So, and there's really not much left to do to that radio except repopulate the tubes and that RCA56 and solder the wires back to the antenna again and slap it together and see if it'll go. That's about all that's left to do to that thing, but like I say, I just have not been in the mood to do it. I keep buying equipment and stuff. I finally got a vacuum tube voltmeter. It's a DeVry Model 1S14, and other than the fact that it looks like it was made back in the 30s or 40s or something like that, just because of the style on the faceplate. I mean, heck, it could have been made as late as the 60s and they just had that same style. I don't know. But, I mean, it looks clean as a whistle. Looks like it's just about brand new. So I don't know, but I say I picked up more alligator clips and leads and a set of probes for the voltmeter, and did like Michael at That Tube Sound and ordered some of that leaded tip tenor from England. And let's see what else. I've been thinking about picking me up one of those Hacko soldering irons like Don over at Restore Old Radios has. Just to have one. That Weller gun there, it's just so unwieldy in spots. It's so big to get in there, and I thought, and then when you do get it in there, you have to be real careful with it, and then pull the trigger. And when I pull the trigger, my hands start shaking. It's just damn near impossible for me. I thought, well, if I had one with just a pencil tip where I could just get down there and touch it, hold my hand steady and just start soldering into it, run the solder in. I've bought soldering irons in the past, but they don't get hot enough to do anything. I bought I believe a 40-watt one from Sears, and I let it warm up for 20 minutes and went over there and tried to tin the tip and couldn't get the solder to stick to the tip. It's like, I thought, well, I guess it'd make a good wood burner if I could find a different tip for it. But I don't know, it's just too much of one thing and not enough of the other half the time. And it's not going to be too much longer. It's going to be too cold to get out to this garage. We've already had a cold snap already, but it's warmed back up here this weekend. It was 72 today here Saturday, and I think tomorrow it's supposed to get up to 80. but then it's supposed to drop back down into the 60s again. And by Wednesday this week, we're supposed to be back to highs in the 50s. I'll soon get all my radio gear and everything moved back into the house again. All the sensitive equipment like tube testers and whatnot. And that's something else I want to do to that radio before I slap it back together, is put the tubes on the tester and see how they all check out. At least I know then if I need to order one or not. A lot of y'all that have been doing this for a while, y'all always have all these boxes and boxes full of tubes, and I don't. I think I might have 4 good tubes that I'm not using, and the only reason I have those 4 is because when I was trying to restore Uncle Dan's Philco, I come across deals on them, and they was like, fella had 4 tubes of one thing, and oh, it's raining again. You're coming down on the tin roof there. Well, I'll be lucky to get this loaded up. This won't have any internet. Maybe just a little cloud burst. It's done stopped again. Huh. But there on eBay, the fella had like 4 new old stock tubes and only wanted $1 or $2 more for them than some fella wanted for 1 new old stock tube. So I got them, like I say, I got 3 or 4 spare tubes up there. So anytime that I test tubes and I got 1 week, well, I can't go dig through a pile and find one. I've got to order another one. So, but I need to get that tester inside the house there and test those tubes out. And I gotta make labels for them, because about the only way you can read the things is to, well, here it comes again, is to blow on hot air, kind of like, and you can see the numbers then, but otherwise they're just about gone. I get the label maker out and make some labels. Since they're all octal tubes, I can just put a label around that black bottom on them there, that black plastic bottom. And it might be a while before I get back inside the house now. Don't have a whole lot of news to tell. I say I've been keeping busy, but just nothing that would be of interest to anyone really. So I guess I'll go ahead and close here, and I'll try to get back to making videos a little more often soon. I don't know if I want to pick up that Colorama radio or not. If it was brush painted, it might be easy to strip, but if they spray painted that thing with enamel or something, it might be a bear. Well, I'll call and ask about it anyway. But I don't know. All right, well, y'all take care. This is Gary, signing off. One other thing. I did film just a couple of random clips when we were out there. I was still kind of miffed about the one hotel being closed for the weekend to the public, but I did film a little bit inside that French Lick Hotel, and I don't even remember what I filmed. But I'll go ahead and tack it onto the end of this video here, and you can kind of get a look at the place. I don't even remember if I filmed the outside of it, but the outside's not really much to look at. It's just a big yellow brick building on the outside. The facade of it, it's probably 8 or 10 stories, and looks like it's about a 1/4 mile long. And There's 3 or 4 more of buildings the same size behind it, but you can't see it from the facade. So I'll go ahead and put that on there, and it'd be something besides sitting there looking at my ugly mug in this garage. All right, well, once again, this is Gary signing off. Thanks for watching.
Should have got the lens cap on. Yeah, big fancy down in there.
That's why I told people we could say, we're in room 321, we're with a something party tonight.
For here, some of these pictures here. Beach Boys, and Clint Black, Jerry Lewis, Leanne Womack, Bob Dole, John Mellencamp stayed here. Another picture or two here. Huh? Nixon. Louis Armstrong. Roosevelt. Ozzy. Hey, look, there's you another president.
Yep.
Loretta Lynn. Larry Bird. Wally.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Carol Brady.
Now you're going back.
Yeah. Abbott and Costello, Magic Johnson, Tony Bennett, Truman, Jerry Lee Lewis, There's all kind of people done stayed here. Oh, they got a model of the West Baden Hotel. Did you see that?
That's probably what it